when I see that slide, I'm terrified of all of you even more. You know what I mean? Not you in particular. Again, as Scott said, you're all nice guys, except maybe one or two of you. But I'm terrified of that idea of just a few companies controlling the fates of billions and billions of people across the. How do you answer that? Away from sort of we're trying to do good and we're here to protect everybody from China or whatever the excuse is.
Look, from a few ways I think about it. I mean, through this time, there are other companies which have emerged very strongly too, right? Somebody like Shopify, you can see them, or Zoom, or so you see, Tesla has done really well, Netflix has done. And so I can go through a long list of companies which have done well too. Also look at it, from my standpoint, go back maybe 15 years ago, you opened your computer, you opened a browser, Google was the main gateway to information. I look at my daughter now and she's on her iPhone, and I mean, she gets information coming to her from more sources than ever before. To the extent, you may worry about something different as to, hopefully she's getting the right information and so on. But it's both, you're right. I think the big companies are doing very well. But I do see a lot of emerging companies. I mean, you've all seen the interest around TikTok, which is new. And at least I can tell you, sitting on a Monday meeting running the company, it feels like there's a lot coming at us, right? And and so you're worried about it, worried about innovating. You're worried about making sure you're on the cutting edge of things. You worry whether the next generation is going to, find your products valuable. So both are simultaneously true. So I'm not denying, or I'm not saying that the big companies aren't, doing well. At the same time, I see, I think it's parallelly true that there's more choices for information than ever before. And, I see that when I use it. I get my news from Twitter. You can ask Siri on your phone, or you can ask questions to Alexa. We know, for example, as Google, when people look for any products, many searches happen outside of Google, and that's been true. It's an important way we make money. So all of this is simultaneously true. So I do think there is concentration for sure, but there's a lot of competition too. And so at least from my standpoint, it feels like both are happening at the same time.
Scott?
So I find the go-to, and I think any CEO feels a lot of heat, you get competitors from everywhere. Can you think of another sector that's over $100 billion where one player has a 93% share and isn't regulated?
It depends on, at one point in time, somebody had 90% share of homepages. So to me, it's like the railroad versus transportation analogy. I think we are in the business of providing information, and there is more information, new apps on your phone. You go to the app directly. So search is, you can view it as a market, but it's one way by which people get information, and that I think that dynamic will constantly evolve. That's why I give the homepage example. When Google started, portals, homepages were the way people primarily had a window to the world of information, but the game changes, right? And so, I view it as dynamic, and there are companies which are bigger than us, which wouldn't pass that market share. They may say they have 10% of some market. So, I think you're right. We are a popular search engine, and we work super hard at that. We invested $26 billion in R&D last year. So the amount of work we do to stay ahead in search is a lot. But I think I gave this example for product searches. Google is not the way by which people find product searches. They can click and go to Amazon or Walmart or Target directly and buy the product too. So the company, and that doesn't get captured in your search share. So, so it's that's sense of competition I talk about too.